Okay, so we're adding this to the notes from Friday on two-step inequalities. And we're going to solve it like very similar to what we did to number 5. Our first task is to get rid of that denominator of -5. Now, on number 5, we had to multiply both sides by 2. Here we also have to multiply both sides by what number? -5. Whatever your denominator is. So that's the first thing we're going to do. On the left side, put a -5 there. That's going to cancel out that one. And on the right side, put a -5 that we're going to multiply with 6. So, go ahead. It is. I was about to ask if that's going to happen, and yes, it is. It is going to change because we're multiplying both sides by a negative. Whenever you do something to both sides that involves multiplying or dividing with a negative, you have to flip the sign. So, let's do it. We got x plus 8 is now less than -30. Okay? All right, let's get rid of the 8 with -8. Jasmine, put away that phone. So we'll put a minus or -8. Only thing left is x is less than -30, and -8 gives us -38. Okay? And let's make a number line centered around -38. Remember, we're on the negative side, so these are numbers bigger than -38. Numbers lesser than -38 are -39, -40, etc. Okay, and then let's see. Question. Hopefully, this question makes more sense after Friday's activity. Is the number -38 part of our answer? Is it part of the numbers that are less than -38? No. That's why we put an open point whenever there's not the little bar for equal to. That's telling us -38 isn't part of our solutions, but anything less than that is. Okay? So -38, not part of the answer, but anything lesser than that, no matter how minute, is an answer. Okay? All right. So we're going to go ahead and include that example. It would help you on the quiz, just saying. And let's go ahead and move on to today's stuff. Everybody has one of these sheets, yes? Yeah. Okay, go ahead and fold it. So what we're going to do is we're going to solve some multi-step inequalities, and we're going to do some and then model some. Okay, can everyone see that? All right. So these are going to be multi-step inequalities, and some of them involve distributing. So let's go ahead and get started. The way it's going to work is it's going to be guided practice. I'll do one, and then you try one. Hopefully you'll work with your partner, your table partner, and get an answer. And we're going to do 5 of these, okay? And they're all multi-step. That means it's 3 or more steps. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to distribute if we can. So it's very much like what we did when we had equations. After distributing, we're going to combine any like terms. Then we're going to solve the simplified equation, or inequality in this case, by undoing in reverse. And then we're going to check our answer with a graph. So, very important. When solving, remember, if you have negative coefficients, that's what they're telling you here. Make sure, that means if you're dividing or multiplying by a negative, you have to reverse the negative. You have to reverse the inequality symbol. So we're going to look out for that because it is going to happen on a few of these. Okay, let's begin. Let's solve our first inequality. And question for you guys. Can I distribute anything on number one? No parentheses, no distributing. I can combine though. I notice that I have 9j here and j here. So go ahead and circle those. And whenever I see a variable without a letter, without a coefficient, I'm going to remind myself that's 1j. So now if I combine those, that becomes 10j. Okay, so we get 12, bring it down, plus 10j. Yeah, less than or equal to 72. That means when we graph it, it is going to be a close point. Okay, let's get rid of the constant, the 12. Take away 12 on both sides. And I get 10 times j is less than or equal to 60. Okay, let's divide out the 10. And I get j is less than or equal to 6. And that's an answer. We want every number 6 or smaller. Okay, so we're going to look at our number line here. Look for the number 6. Here it is. Where are you, 6? Right there. And then we're going to... it's an 8? No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like an 8, but if you count from 0, you'll see it's a 6. Sorry, it didn't come out so clear. And then close point everything this way. On to infinity. Negative infinity. Okay, so now your problem is very similar to this. So give it a try. Combine. Do all the steps we did. No parentheses, so you're gonna combine this. Give it a try. See what you can combine. If you have a question, check in with me or check in with your partner. Oh, yeah. I should pause this. 1 second. Okay, so this is the answer we should get there. Okay, let's try number 2. So I'll do the first one, the guided practice. I'll think aloud here and tell you what my thought process is. Okay, number 2. So the first thing I look for are parentheses. They're not there. So let's see if I can combine anything. I have 3z take away 15z. Okay, so I got to figure out what that is. If I have 3 and take away 15, what is that going to give me? Negative 12. Z minus 30. You had a question, Area? Yes. Let's do that. How do you know that we have to? Negative 12, right? Yes. This is a good point to divide the circle. If you realize, my pen just busted. Okay, circle the sign. Let's figure this out. We're going to, at some point, get rid of the 30. That goes first, plus 30. Okay, let's see what we have now. We have negative 12z. It's still greater than, but we're going to flip it in a moment. And this is 84. So at this point, yes, we are going to divide by negative 12. And my answer is going to be z. That has to flip, so it's less than. How many times is 12 going to 84? 7 times. So negative 7. And that's my answer. Z is less than negative 7. So we want all numbers smaller than 12. Negative 7, rather. Right there. Close point. Everything. Open point. Aye. You're right. Open point. Make it an open point. We don't include the negative 7. Everything less than negative 7. Okay? Give it a try. Combine and see what you get.
What's 7 minus 8?
7 minus 8, negative 1.
Oh, I was right. I didn't read anything. Are you serious?
I am. And that is our first step in case you were wondering. Combine those. You're taking away more than your actual value that you start with. So it's going to be a negative. So we got this far, and I noticed most everyone I looked at got this far, or pretty much everyone I looked at got this far. Let's get rid of the 3. So since it's minus 3, I'm noticing you are adding 3. Negative 1 times n is less than 26. And here's the step. I have to divide by negative 1, right? So this will cancel, of course. I get n, but now it's greater than negative 26. Okay, because I divided by a negative. And for the graph, negative 26, negative 25, negative 24. Remembering we're on the negative side. Negative 27, negative 28. That's good enough. And we want open point again. And all numbers greater than that. Okay. All right. Any questions? Okay. Let's try something over here. All right. Ooh, looks like we're going to distribute. So here we can distribute, and let's do that. So we're going to distribute by a negative, negative 9. So remembering, this means we're going to multiply. We multiply negative 9 times q. What do we get, you guys? Negative 9q. And then negative times a positive is minus 27, less than 45. Okay. So let's go ahead and get rid of the 27. Take a 27 away from both sides.
Wait, I can't even see.
negative 9q is less than, what's 45 take away 27? What's that going to give us? Oh,
Why are you minus equal to 27?
you're right. Thank you. I got to add it. Okay. That's 72. And luckily for us, it does go in evenly.
8 minus.
So we had to add that. My apologies. And it goes in 8 times, so it's negative 8q. I circled it because we do have to flip this inequality. We divided by negative, and that's negative 8. Okay? So we want numbers negative 8 or larger. So look for negative 8.
Open point, right?
Yes. Open point at negative 8. And we want all numbers larger than that.
And how do you know? Oh, no.
How do I know if it's open or closed?
No, I was saying, how do you know, like, if it's a like subtraction or not?
Okay. All right. So the one you're solving is very similar to this. Okay. Distribute negative 5. Start with that. So I'm noticing, well, everyone's recognizing distributing. However, some of you, I did notice some mistakes. Negative 5 times x, negative 5x. Everyone's comfortable with that. Here, think of it as multiplying negative times a positive because that's a plus. That's going to make this minus 10 is greater than 15. Okay? And so that means I'm going to have to add 10 on both sides. Here, so negative 5x is greater than 25. Okay? And let's get rid of this negative 5 by dividing, which means I'm going to circle that so it reminds me to flip it. So now I have 25 divided by negative 5, that's negative 5. So the answer is x is less than negative 5. Okay? X is less than negative 5. So let's graph it. We're looking for negative 5. Open point because we don't have the equal to part, and all numbers smaller than that. Let's move on to number 4. What do you notice about 4? You got some fractions. But we've dealt with this before, back when we did equations like this, so we have it again. Do you remember how we handled it to get rid of the denominator back then? Multiply, in this case, by 2. Over here, we're going to multiply by 4. You multiply by whatever the denominator is, so let's multiply by 2 on both sides. Okay, now, that's going to cancel the 2 in the denominator. Bring down everything else. So I'm going to put 1 parentheses x plus 4 is less than or equal to 2 times 10 is 20. Okay, so we got rid of the denominator. We just have the numerator. It's 1. So we distribute 1. So we're going to distribute 1. This gives us 1x, which is just x. And 1 times 4 is just 4, so plus 4, less than or equal to 20. Okay, so that's how you're going to tackle this. You're going to multiply both sides by 4, then you're going to distribute 3. Okay, let's finish up this one. Get rid of the plus 4. And we get x is less than 10, 20 take away 4 is 16. Less than or equal to 16. So we want all numbers 16 and smaller. So there's our number line. We want a close point at 16, and then everything less than that. But notice what we did. Multiply both sides by whatever the denominator number is to cancel that. Then distribute whatever the numerator is. Okay? So try on number 4. So distribute 3 to both of these. So we get 3x plus 9 less than or equal to 36. Let's get rid of the 9. So minus a 9 on both sides. 3x is less than or equal to 27. Divide that by 3. And we get x is less than or equal to 9. So we're looking for 9 over here. Close point on numbers smaller than that. Let's continue.
I'll be back in like 10 minutes.
All right, let's distribute 2. So we got it. For this one, we have to do pretty much everything. Bring down 5x. 2 times x is 2x. And then 2 times 1 is 2, so plus 2 is greater than or equal to 23. First we distribute, then we'll check and see if we have anything to combine. We have a 5x and a 2x. They're both positive, so you just add those. 5 and 2 makes 7x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 23. And then let's get rid of the 2. That's going to give us 7x is greater than or equal to 21. Divide that by 7. We get x is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, so we want to look for 3. We have the equal to part, so it's a closed point. That means we'll include that in our answer, and then anything bigger than that as well. There we are. Okay, so try number 5. Start with distributing. If you distributed correctly, this is what you got. Combine your like terms. We'll get rid of 6. I get 10y. 16 take away 6 is 10, so greater than 10. And then divide by 10. Y is greater than 1. And we want anything greater than 1. So open point here and going this way. Okay. And we'll stop it there.